I have a classmate. His name is Huang Qinghong, who comes from a small fishing village at the junction of Zhejiang province. Listen to it. In their village, the feng shui is extremely strange. What about this ghost and supernatural event? Almost everyone in the village has experienced it, so they are particularly concerned about remembering a season. When walking at night in their village, you should pay special attention to it. For them, it is common for ghosts to hit the wall. In the past, there were rumors that someone would walk around the village after walking around the village. Walking until dawn, people found his footprint, that is, he had been circling along the village. But in this fishing village, no one is worried about ghosts hitting the wall because people in the village think that ghosts hitting the wall can't bring any harm. But once Jingku Road is mentioned, people's attitudes are different. When I was a child, Huang Qinghong's grandfather kept an eye on them, siblings and brothers. If you encounter this wellhead road at night, you must do whatever you want, otherwise you may never come back. At that time, Huang Qinghong's grandfather always said this. After hearing this, Huang Qinghong was very scared, just like a childhood nightmare. But when he gradually grew up, he realized that in this kind of thing, he also had doubts. Everyone in the village says so, but who knows that this is not a bridge where 10 or 10 people become tigers? Who knows if those who claim to have seen Wellhead Road are lying? In the year he graduated from junior high school, Huang Qinghong actually encountered Jingku Road. That summer vacation, Huang Qinghong watched movies on the roadside with his mother and several younger brothers. At that time, few people with color TV sets near this family were near the house, and this radio station was limited. So he went to the roadside to watch movies, buy popcorn, ice cream, and grill squid, eat, and watch it on the roadside. This is an entertainment activity for people. Which day, they saw it very late and it was completely dark. Qinghong felt very sleepy and wanted to go home to sleep. However, his two younger brothers didn't see enough of their younger brothers, so their mother couldn't go. Huang Qinghong's mother simply asked him to go home by himself. After all, this village is very small. From here, walking home, you can definitely get home in about 10 minutes. Qinghong really couldn't stand it anymore, so she had to walk home alone, passing a well on the side of the road. The faint lights in the distant residential area suddenly went out with a smile, and then a road brightly lit by the moon appeared in the darkness. Qinghong suddenly thought of what his grandfather once told him. He quickly squatted down to imitate the way the round turtle drew around, circled himself in a circle, and then grabbed a handful of sand from the circle. The sand was hit out outward, and the light reappeared in an instant, and the road that was very bright by the moon disappeared. Tell me, since then he began to strictly abide by all kinds of taboos in the village, and he never dared to take the old man's words seriously. I once asked Qinghong if he didn't abide by these taboos, what can he do? For example, the road you saw, if you really walked in, do you know what would happen? Qinghong said that the area of the fishing village is very small. Take a taxi and circle the village once, that is, 30 minutes is enough. It can be said that it is the place where you close your eyes. It is a place where you can't get lost with your eyes closed. Therefore, although no one knows what will happen when they walk into the Wellhead Road, someone did get lost in the village. People speculated that this incident must have nothing to do with the Wellhead Road, and therefore they didn't pay attention to taboos, which once brought a healing blow to the fishing village. When Qinghong was in high school, a big event happened in the village. In that year, the village wanted to celebrate the birthday of his 99-year-old ancestor, and this troupe must be invited for the birthday. Where's the Lord? Born in Hubei, I liked watching Chu opera very much, so the village invited a troupe from other places that generally didn't know the rules. Before the performance, the old people and my grandson picked several plays. That is, One of them sang for 3 days in a row, but when it came to the last day, the new class leader felt that there were fewer and fewer people watching the play. Why don't you change it to a new play? So I privately let the troupe sing a black gold key. The plot of this Wu Jin Ji is bizarre and twists and turns, which can be said to be understandable as a drama, but it is quite different from the content of Zhu Shou. What is he talking about? It's said that the groom's official was killed on his wedding night, and the wedding official's disorderly decision of the case led to the tragic death of innocent people one after another. Now something happened. The strong men inside his grandson began to die one after another, with only 20 fishing villages in total. More than half of the people have had funerals in the past 6 months. What about that period? No matter where you go, paper money is everywhere. As long as it's night, you can hear many old women crying. The sorrow of white-haired parents sending black-haired people to their later parents, and the sorrow of young wives becoming newly married and widowed. If you look past, the whole fishing village is filled with a strange gray fog, which makes the whole village look gray. This situation lasted until we were in our sophomore year. One day in our sophomore year, Qing Hong told us that a developer wanted to build a big building in that part of their village, and it was in the location of the cemetery. Originally, people in this village thought that this was a taboo, but in recent years, there were a lot fewer men in the prime of life in this village, and many families had a hard time. If you sell the land in the cemetery, you can not only get funds to keep track of the villagers' lives. Moreover, even if it is a taboo, it is still a matter for those developers and owners, and it has nothing to do with the people in the village, right? As a result, Fenley reached this development agreement with the developer. We comfort Qing Hong. Maybe this so-called taboo is just because there are too few people in your village, and it is too futile to stop it. If this foreign businessman is introduced, when there are more people, the natural situation will change. But half a year later, Qing Hong told us that the price of that real estate plummeted, and now the real estate developers have closed their doors. When I heard it, I couldn't help but wonder, could it be that this commercial project, which attracted so many people, couldn't suppress those undead? It turned out that the developer was bulldozing the cemetery. After entering the real estate, people began to see unclean things on the construction site. Many workers saw it. People in fine clothes were singing operas, and some people were wearing ancient clothes to hide their faces and cry. Others, as soon as they lay down, they heard someone screaming outside. All these situations were covered up by developers' money, and the building opened smoothly after its completion. There are also many owners who have moved in. Originally, this was a good phenomenon. When someone lives, it is easy to gather popularity, but this property finally collapsed. It is also because of this small number of owners. Since these owners moved in, people have discovered that at night, supernatural things happen every day. For example, you will hear some strange sounds at night. In the evening, there were always people wandering at the intersection, and some owners in the city saw the legendary Jingpu Road in the fishing village. The people in the city didn't know how to solve this problem, so they could only stand there. I stood there until dawn, so scared that my whole body was soaked in sweat. At this time, developers outside are afraid to come to this fishing village for commercial investment, and we are all particularly emotional. You said that this originally good small fishing village has been affected for so many years just because it violated a taboo. Influence, this can be regarded as one. Hell's chess, right?